Morning, good afternoon, good evening, good early morning, good night to my viewers and to my listeners and subscribers from all over the world. I am thrilled to have you join me on the 5th episode of my podcast, Diary of a Creative Mind. Thanking my old subscribers for sticking around all this while. I thank you. I am grateful. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, your subscription. It means a whole lot to me. I do not take it for granted. My new subscribers who are just walking by and decided to pause to view my video, I'm saying thank you. Please subscribe, please like, please share your thoughts in the comment section. It's going to mean a lot to me, and I am also saying welcome. Our episode today is a thought-provoking episode because a lot of us has made that move and is centered on mistake. There are levels of mistake. We have minor mistakes, we have major mistakes. Minor mistakes are the major difference between minor and major is basically the impact of the damage that has been caused by these mistakes and the amount of time that it will take to make any kind of amends or make any kind of damage or reverse the mistake. Example, minor mistakes. Maybe I sent an email to the wrong person. Maybe I wore the wrong shoes to work. Maybe I left my keys in the house and locked myself out. Or maybe I forgot to buy something from the market. Now, all these mistakes are really minor mistakes that people make every day. It's not really it doesn't really cause so much damage, and it takes a little amount of time for you to correct and reverse that. And then we have major mistakes, grave major mistakes that could be irrevocable. If, for example, you were driving, you thought you saw something, you swerved your car, and then you hit somebody, it was a mistake, but that act is quite damaging. Maybe the person lost a leg or the person actually died. That's a major mistake on your own part. Then we have another mistake, like you got married to the wrong person that showed you a part of them that they were not, and then you thought that this person was who they presented themselves to be, and you went on and married this person, and when you got married you realized you made a terrible mistake. It's major, is based on the recklessness and the selfishness of another, but yet still a mistake. Now, if you've ever committed a mistake, if you've ever made a terrible mistake in your life, the first thing you have to do so that you can move on from this mistake is to acknowledge the fact that you've made a terrible mistake. Acknowledge the fact, accept it, and tell yourself, yes, I made this mistake. Yes, I was ignorant, I was less wiser, I was younger, I was foolish, I didn't know God. I made this mistake. I take blame. I do not blame anybody. I do not live in self-denial. You're a human being and you are prone to making mistakes. Acknowledge this fact. And if it's something that causes you to cry or causes you to regret, grieve. You can shut the world out. You can cry, take as much time as you want, and then you can forgive yourself and move on. By all means, forgive yourself and move on. Let's look at the story of David. David, the first minor mistake David did was actually not going to war, and he lustfully looked at Bathsheba, and if that was actually some minor mistakes, but he went on to sleep with her and went on to create and to commit a major mistake by actually killing Uriah, her husband. That was a major mistake. It was his own fault. It wasn't the fault of anybody. And when the prophet came and told David that he has committed a grave sin, the first thing David did, he didn't start denying it. He didn't live in self-denial. He didn't start blaming, why we should take our bath outside. The first thing he did, he acknowledged the fact that, yes, God, I've committed this mistake. I've committed this grave sin. And that was the origin of Psalm 51. It was from the acknowledgement of the fact that David committed this sin. He acknowledged it. He asked God for mercy. He grieved when the son was actually sin. The son that he and Bathsheba conceived, when the son fell sick, he grieved for it. He kept asking God for mercy. And after the child died, he moved on. He forgave himself. And then he moved on. So the first step you ought to take when you've made a terrible mistake is to acknowledge the fact that you've made this mistake, is to grieve if you want to shut the world. You can travel, you can change you can relocate, but please, whatever you do, when you grieve, when you acknowledge it, please forgive yourself and try to move on. The second thing you can do if you've committed some mistakes, if you've made mistakes and you can't move on, is to make amends. If you lied or betrayed someone's trust, if you ruined somebody's reputation, make amends is just one of the steps you can use to move on from your mistake. Let's take for example what happened recently. Pastor Enete of Dunamis, the story went viral. He actually told a lady that came for testimony that her testimony was a lie, and it turned out that she was actually being honest. And he tried to make amends. He sent a public apology. I'm sure he apologized to the woman privately. And there were so many things going behind the scene that we don't know, but he tried to make amends. So if it's something that can be amendable, please make amend. It's going to help you move on. It's going to help this person move on. If it's something money can amend, money can save, please spend your money. Third thing you can do if you've ever committed a mistake is to learn from your mistake and share your story to teach others. There are so many people who are dying today and who would not die or who will not commit this kind of mistake if someone had shared a story, or if someone had told them, don't do this, learn from my story. Now, I watched, there was a movie, Tyler Perry's movie. I watched Confessions of a Marriage Counselor, how she made a horrible mistake because she thought the grass was greener on the other side. She cheated on her husband, and then it ended so badly. It ended in such a horrible way, and then she became a counselor and she used her stories to save so many couples. If you've had bad experiences, you can write a book, you can counsel people, you can create a movie just to create awareness of the fact that, hey, don't do this mistake. There are some movies that are real life stories, just to create an awareness of the kind of mistakes people make and how to avoid them. You can learn from it and become a better person, and don't get stuck in the past. The fourth thing you can do if you've committed a major mistake is actually the most difficult of them all, and is being transparent. For example, I'm a young lady, I want to get married, and I lived a life that I wasn't really proud of, and this person doesn't know anything about my past, and you guys are trying to lay your cards on the table. He tells you about his past, and you're stuck, you're scared that if I tell this person, if I'm open, is this person going to let me go? And you're fighting in between telling this person or just leaving or just moving on. Now, there are people who do not care about your past. They're like, I don't care about your past. Those people tell you, look, I know you may have been a saint, you may have been a sinner, I don't really care. What I want is who you are now, who you are going to become, and who you are going to be in the future. Fine. If they said they didn't want to know your past, it's okay. But if it's something that is bugging you and if it makes you guilty, you're scared, thinking, what if this person finds out? What if someone from my past comes up? Please open up to this person and be transparent to this person. I'm telling you, because that's something that will make you stop giving power to your past. Let's say if you opened up to this person, and this person, prior your confession to this person, she or he used to see you as an angel, literally, that walked on the earth, and then you opened up to this person because you value this person so much and you do not want to lose them, and because you're selfless, there's something people say, they don't want to lose this person, so they don't tell this person about their past because they don't want to lose them. It means you're selfish. Please do not be selfish. Open up, be selfless. Tell this person that, oh, this is what I did, this is the life I've lived. And if they let you go or they start putting on attitude and they cancel whatever you guys had, I want you to know that it's okay. Yes, because they are humans, and humans are really emotional. Not everybody can handle. There are some baggages. There are some baggages that people cannot handle for the rest of their life, and it's fine. Don't be bitter about them, because you're also a human being. There are some things you can't also tolerate. It's fine. If they want to go, let them go. It surely shows they are human. It shows that they are not supposed to be along the path of your destiny. They were not the same passengers on your flight to destiny. It's okay to let them go. And you have to come to the stage where you accept that not everybody will see you for who you are or who you are going to become. There are people who are going to only see you for who you've been. There are people who will see you for only the mistakes you've made. They will never, ever see you for who you are now, who you will become, who God has called you to be, and who God is making you to become. And it's okay to let them go. Do not try to start seeking validation from them. not try to start proving a point, because you should know who you are and who God has called you to be, especially if you are now a Christian, if you now love God, and if you are now a better person. Jesus didn't go back to start seeking validation from them. He knew who he was. He knew his purpose and his mission on earth, and he had to let them go. It's fine. And for those he was sent to, he did a lot of miracles for those who actually saw him as someone that would come to save them. So it's fine for you to let them go. And for people who are in a place where they're in contact with someone who has made a grave mistake. Let's say you are a lady and a man opens up to you about his past, and you're confused. You don't know if to go on with this person. You don't know if this person's past will come up in the future and make your life miserable. You're at war if to let him go. You're at war if to accept him for who he is or who God has called him to become. I want you to take all the time you need. You don't need to make any hasty decision. If you are led to let them go, please do. Instead of torturing them or putting up an attitude or becoming God over their life, being judgmental, it's okay for you to open up and say, look, I love you so much, but I don't think I can be able to carry this baggage with you, and I'm sorry. And it's fine. It just shows that you are a human being. Like I said, always remember that for someone to open up to you, I want you to know that they have thought long and hard about it. They valued you enough. Please do not make them grieve more. The final thing to do to let go and to move on if you've made mistakes is actually to move on. Let go of the past. The more you grieve, the more you look back at your past, the more power you give your past to hurt you. And so let go of the past. Hand it over to God. He said, come to me, all you who are labored and overburdened. If your past is a burden to you, hand it over to God and he's going to take it away. I know someone who is extremely good. He's an expert in turning big mistakes to messages. Don't be so stuck on your past that you give people the power to make you ashamed of your past. God has called you by a new name. No longer shall you be called desolate, but you shall be called Hephzibah, my delight. He said, you shall be called Beulah, married. He has called you by your name. He has called you by a new name. So no longer look at your past and remember ye not the former thing. Behold, I do a new thing. Gaze upon the you that God is making you to become. As I round up, I want you to know that true freedom is not in the ability to hide something so that no one knows. True freedom is opening up and be so transparent to whoever you are with or whatever you want to do, that there is nothing more to hide. Learn from your mistakes, let go, make amends, and move on. That is all I have for this episode. I hope you take the necessary actions you want to take. Thank you so much for sticking till the end of this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. Please like, please subscribe. It's going to mean a lot to me. Until next time, I remain Stephanie Kechiz and your host. Bye, and see you in the next episode.
All over me is your